Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Indigo here. I hope you're having a good day or good night, whatever time it is when you watch this video. Okay, I hope you can hear me. I think you can, so we're just gonna get into the video. See what messages we got for the collective. Sun, source, transits, climate. Okay, something about something about the planetary alignment. Okay, something's changing or something is being aligned. Okay, I feel like you're also like a lot of light is being shed on areas in which you've grown in. Like a lot of the times we'll question why we have certain experiences or why we go through certain things dealing with, low vibrational or toxic people, right? But it's really like these people are placed into your life to show you the growth, okay? I heard detachment is definitely one. Understanding that karma is the best thing that could possibly happen for a person, okay? Something when it comes to somebody doing something wrong to you, it's best to allow the universe to intervene, because in that the person also gets to receive a lesson as well. And not everybody's gonna be open to seeing or receiving the lesson, okay? But if you are somebody who operates out of like authenticity, out of love, out of caring, nurturing energy, that's just going to be how it is that you handle certain issues, okay? First house survival. I feel like seeing yourself clearly, okay? A lot of defining your true character, defining who you are away from the turbulence that you just got out of, okay? You could be receiving a lot of visions at this time, okay? A lot of foresight into either things that you want to do. It could be about relationships, partnerships, businesses, anything under the sun, right? I heard gateway, okay? Something about a gate, okay? I'm seeing like a house where like the driveway has a gate on it. Somebody could need to, so I don't know what this message is, okay? But there's a gate on like a house, right? And like, I think it's one of those where you could like do the intercom, or you press in the buttons to open up the gate, right? There's something about somebody like hacking the system to be able to put in a specific code to be able to unlock the gate. So I don't know what that is or who that's for. I heard in the Sunshine State. Okay, so you could be, I think, do they call California the Sunshine State? I don't know where they call whatever they refer to as the Sunshine State. That could be where you're from. Okay. Yeah. So take action to fix it or to get a new one. Okay. Or if you don't have a camera, like by your gate, this could be somebody who like does Airbnb. Okay. You could do a lot of Airbnb. So if you are allowing people access to the code to your gate and you're not changing it, that should be something that you're doing, okay? That's a lot of hacker energy. So people can, of course, hack your cameras, they can hack your gate, they can hack anything and make it look like absolutely nothing is happening. And that's like for a robbery, okay? Oh, that is, we got Queen, Peace, 10, 8. I swear another card though. Okay, so we got 2 8s, a king on the bottom of the deck. Also clarified by the alien. For the Queen card too. So masculine, feminine energy here. 2 8s, a 10. You could be seeing 88. Okay, 188, 188, 88th Street is what I heard. I heard Broadway. Something about Maryville. Or Maryland? I don't know. Right, the Magician. Knowledge, the Magician. So somebody's utilizing their knowledge to create for themselves. There's also like heavy, I don't know, there's like heavy hacking energy. So somebody's very skilled with technology. Right? This is also reminding me of this dream I had. And like this person like lived on a hill, right? And it's like people were trying to get into this person's home to like retrieve something. But this is like one of those homes where like, you know, like in movies where they be like, oh, the blueprint, right? It's like completely new areas built to this house that like are not in the blueprint, right? So it's giving me like some underground, like technology shit. Okay? I keep seeing solar panels like in my mind when I look at the sun source card. Something about climate change. So yesterday I was on a treadmill and I was watching a news broadcast and they were talking about heat waves that are surging, okay, that are unlike ever before. So there's something about climate change and like the sun being brought closer that has something to do with the fueling of certain systems. Okay, this could be going into building something or making something. Okay. I want to see, right, the 8th is the August to January could be significant. Let's see. notebook. I haven't been in this notebook for so long. Right, one, progression of consciousness from self to selfless, from beginning to completion or perfection. So you definitely have completed a cycle. Going back to King and Queen energy, I feel like these are two people that are mirroring each other, okay? When it comes to evolution and self, okay? You can feel like rapidly that these things are happening. Like you could be waiting for blessings, right? And then blessings or things could come in, right? Disguised as blessings, okay? But it's really a lesson for you could be the teacher, but we're always the student even when we're the teacher, right? So there are multi dimensions of ways to look at what you're currently experiencing. So something that you thought was going to be like a blessing for you, right? Turns out to be a test, right? But you passed the test because you learned the lesson. I feel like it's a lot of lessons in honoring self, okay? Not changing to fit the molds or the narratives of the people around you that you may want to have friendships or connections with, okay? Understanding that people that are really for you are going to accept all parts of you and not just some parts of you. And that's even when it comes to like the divine, right? Like there's so many narratives. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Like, the God that I know is not judgmental or like, oh, well, you can't come along because you're not, you don't dress nice, right? Like, God wants for our internal selves to be well kept. He wouldn't give a fuck how we looked or how we dressed, right, on the outside. It's really about our inner nature, okay? I definitely had somebody tell me like, oh, God wants us to look presentable and look like this. And they're really just trying to like, they're really just trying to protect the fact that they're very materialistic and they cling to things to be able to portray a certain image. Because if you took those things away, their inner self would be extremely ugly and you wouldn't see the image that the narrative that they're forcing out onto you by the way that they look, right? The 8 is the strength card, right? So having the strength and the courage to honestly self-reflect and see the truth of oneself, okay? Dependability, power, patience, authority, practicality, ambition, good judgment. I feel like all of these things, like your judgment has gotten better when it comes to dealing with people. You've gotten better at deciphering and understanding your emotions, okay? If you were ever a person who found it hard to take the lead of a situation, you now find it very easy to lead, and by you leading is really just you doing your own thing, okay? Because you are a leader. Leaders tend to do their own things and people just kind of follow them by default, right? Also, this could be vice versa too. If you're a person who's used to leading, you could be following the lead of someone else. And I can hear somebody in my head saying, where do you want to go? Like, what do you want to do? Somebody's open to change, okay? Somebody's open to doing things that are outside of the norm. Something about a black belt is significant, okay? I don't know if this could be in fighting or if this is like literally like somebody has a black belt. Like you could be shopping, you could be looking for a specific type of black belt, like one of the older school belts, just like simple black gold or silver like buckle. You could have went to go look for a belt and like all they had were like these fancy ass like just like too much. Like no. Like no. Was not feeling that. Right? I feel like you have proven, and this could be for like a position or something, or this could just be to the Most High, right? You've proven your ability to be extremely disciplined, okay? You've proven yourself to be disciplined in thoughts and actions, okay, and things that you are consuming. I feel like the mind thing is definitely a thing. Like you have overcome allowing projections to become your reality. I feel like that could have been something that was very hard for you in the past, but that's a part of that like illusionary, like magic energy, right? I heard space cadet in my head, okay? Somebody could think that you're a space cadet, somebody could think that you're not as smart as you are, or you could think this about somebody else, okay? This could be an honest assumption about somebody, or this could be somebody projecting onto you because of the concepts in which it is that you understand are beyond this person's mind capacity. Like this person can't understand or decipher the things that you can. It's like somebody reading hieroglyphics who's skilled in understanding, right? And then somebody who's never even seen a hieroglyphic or knows what a hieroglyphic is, right? But don't get me wrong, sometimes people like that can do a better job at reading it than people who are actually even taught how to do it. So something about unconventional learning is significant also. You could be reflecting on all the things that you've learned through just life experiences. This could have you in an energy to where you're more like you're excited to learn more things by experiencing more of what life has to offer you. This could be in areas of your interest or just, I also feel like a job opportunity is very significant. Like you're going, like you don't have the credentials to do something, right? But you have the life experience to be able to do something. Like I feel like a lot of people are understanding the different forms of teaching, okay? I don't know why this came to my head, but like I was just thinking about operation, right? Like operation, they got the little parts in there and you gotta remove them, right? And in my head I was thinking like, okay, so what if somebody wanted to be a surgeon? That would be kind of hard to just physically teach somebody like, oh, well, this is how you do a heart transplant, right? But like them actually seeing a picture of, you know, the inside of somebody and like this part is this part and labeling it that way, then seeing the parts separate will maybe be a little bit better for them, okay? So looking at the full body versus the parts of the body, somebody needs a full picture to be painted for them to understand something or to decipher something, okay? Let me see if I can find my notes on, because it's definitely a lot of 8. We know 8 is abundance. It's definitely giving. 8 energy, success, personal power, the manifestations of our desires. I feel like you, collective, you have a better understanding on what it is that you desire, because you figured out the why it is that you desire the things that you do. Right? Like I could just like the color red, right? But then I can think about how I feel when I wear red, right? Like I feel powerful, I feel very passionate, I feel very vibrant and like sexy, and like these are my natural states of being, right? So it just intensifies that feeling for me, right? If I didn't take time to reflect on that, then maybe I would have never came to that conclusion. It would just be as simple like, oh, I don't know, I just like the color red. Like, there's no depth, right? Finding depth is really what creates bringing manifestation into reality. Because if you can't truly see it and embody what you're seeing, then 10 times out of 10, you're not ready to have that, or that's not something that is achievable for you, because you don't see yourself as having it or being worthy of whatever it is that you are desiring, right? What other, I don't know if right, because if I look at this, right, I'm definitely getting like King of like Pentacles energy. I'm getting heavy Earth sign energy. Somebody could have Taurus highlighted in their chart, Virgo, Capricorn. Okay. The bag sign. The bag sign though, that's funny too. Right, the connection, understanding the connection between the material and the spiritual realm. So that's pretty much what I just explained, right? Seeing, feeling, knowing is believing. Like, okay, let me think about like an example to make. So one day I woke up and I was like thinking about this jean jacket that I used to have and how I wish I would have brought it with me when I traveled, right? And I was like, dang, I want another jean jacket like that, right? So me understanding that like the divine is never going to give you the same replica of something that you had before in the past, right? It's gonna be better. It's gonna complement whatever state you're in the current moment, and that's gonna be what it gives you, right? So in my head, I'm thinking like, okay, my old jacket, it was kind of big, it was baggy, like it was like definitely giving 90s mom for sure, right? And like 90s is like kind of my style, right? So I'm like, that's the foundation of it, right? So it's still gonna be like that, because that's something that I really enjoy. That's like mine. That's like a, kind of like a deal breaker for me, right? Like something too new aged, I'm not really gonna enjoy as much as I'm going to enjoy something that's older school, which would make me not really want it, okay? So then I'm like, this time is gonna be like a midriff jean jacket, right? Because I've already had the waist length jacket. I've already had the bigger version. I'm like, I love bigger versions of clothes. I don't really like things that fit me, only specific things, right? So I'm like, okay, this time I know what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a midriff jean jacket, and it's gonna be lighter denim. And then once I formulated these understandings in my head, it's like I seen it, right? And then an idea dropped in my head, right? And then I went to this person's house. Don't even know this person. I walk past their house often when I go to the park. And asked them like, oh, do you have any older clothes that you're getting rid of that you might want to give to me? And he's like, oh yeah, I do have some women's clothes. And like at first I was looking for like boys' clothes because I like have the bigger look, right? And he's like, oh, I have women's clothes. I'm like, okay. So he showed it to me, and it literally was the jacket. Like it literally was the jacket. The jacket that I seen in my head. I got it, right? Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. It was lit though. Okay, so you got K, we got the number 4, and we got 7. 4 and 7. Spirituality, structure, and practicality. Okay, understanding the barrier between religious beliefs and spirituality, okay? I feel like religion is like a structure of how something should be in order for it to be labeled a certain thing, like Christianity, right? Whereas spirituality focuses more on the experience that's being had, right? I feel like a lot of people right now could be reflecting on the experience that they're having with the Creator and not just what they're being taught or what is being read in the Bible, right? But it is like a compare and contrast. Like, oh, I read this in the Bible and today I experienced this and it reminded me of the scripture, right? And I had somebody tell me like, oh, you're not supposed to decipher the Bible in your own words. You're supposed to talk to the Most High and He's gonna give you the answer, right? And in my head, I'm like, okay, that makes sense, right? But for each person in the world that is in existence, like people have different lingo, people talk differently, people have different languages, people have different understandings of certain things, right? So it's like in order to speak to someone in a way that they understand, you're going to have to speak to them in a language in which it is that they can decipher, right? So a lot of the times we'll have the same experience and have different ways or phrases to explain what it is that we're experiencing. But a lot of the time, if you take out how something is being like explained, you really realize like, oh, we're pretty much saying the same thing. We're just saying it in two different ways, right? I feel like a lot of times people could get really caught up on, well, this doesn't sound the same, or this doesn't look the same. So it's just completely null and void, right? Which takes away from the spiritual experience. The spiritual experience is experience in which the individual is having that's not defined by your sense or your logic. It's defined by theirs. Okay? So that could be something that you're visiting or looking at. I feel like understanding the hard work and the discipline it takes to bring about the things that you want. This could be physical work or even just in like working out. Like I've been working out a lot since I've been here. way more than I ever have in my whole entire life, actually. And it's been lit. Like, working out has become a conduit to releasing pent up energy that resides in my vessel. Like, even with yoga, like, yoga releases a lot of trauma from your body with certain poses and stuff like that. Focus on different parts of your body, right? So taking care of the vessel is definitely the number one way to make sure that whatever it is that you're asking for, you're able to show up and do the work that it is to get those blessings, to get those things, right? How they say, like, health is, or what do they be saying? Health is next to wealth, or great wealth. Or, oh, damn, I forgot what they said. I used to say that so much too. Or a healthy life is a wealthy life, or something like that, okay? Girl, it's something like that, I don't remember. Google it, right? So number 7, of course, is the number of the divine. And I feel like this is, and now I'm gonna cut the message because it's going in 30 minutes. I think I'm gonna take a shower before I go to sleep. 7, introspection, spirituality, inner wisdom, encourages us to connect with our higher selves and explore the depths of our spiritual journey. So overall, that's really the closing out of this message. I feel like you are just reflecting over your spiritual journey, how you've gotten here, the things that you've learned to get here, the things that are existing on the outer realms of yourself are making you aware of the growth in which it is that you have done. Just recently, I had somebody telling me that, like, my actions or the things that I were doing were of a demonic nature, right? Or at least it seemed like they were insinuating that. And this is somebody who's very like, the Bible, right? Very rarely do I hear this person talk about their own experiences with, you know, the Creator or anything like that. It's always just about the Bible, which is like, okay, cool. We all start from somewhere, right? I'm somebody who has had God in my life in a very unconventional way. It didn't come from reading the Bible. Like, we just been besties since I was little, right? That was my father. Like, so, you know, and I had to really articulate myself in a way that she can understand what my experience was, and that it wasn't up for her to decipher my truth. My truth was in the hands of the Creator for him to judge. Like, your judgment isn't anything, but this is somebody who feels like they're a messenger and they're just this wise being, and they haven't even lived most of the life that I've lived, girl. And like, I'm speaking to her, and there was another woman who overheard our conversation, and she came and like knocked on the door, and she was talking to me crazy because we both have the same name, right? But she really, because I kept asking God, I'm like, dang, when am I gonna meet somebody that's just like me? Like, I'm tired of being the enlightening one. And like, not to say that I don't gain enlightenment from other people, because I literally learn from every experience that I have. Like, everything I go through, I learn from literally everybody. But it was like, it's annoying when you have so much to offer, and like, it's like working at a job, working really hard, and not even getting minimum wage. Like, that's how I felt. And I'm like, when am I gonna meet somebody that's like me, like that understands me? And you know, because nobody's gonna be exactly the same. When am I gonna meet somebody who really understands me and also is on this journey with me. And like this girl came in, she just really validated everything that I said in my whole entire existence. It like made me cry. And like I'm not really a crier. Like I be crying, but like I don't cry in front of people. So it was like a lot. Like, but it was just confirmation for me. And like in that experience, how she would speak to me versus how she would speak to the other person really kind of clarified to me, like, you know, it's not me. Like I'm sitting here trying to defend my honor to somebody who wouldn't even defend their own honor. Like, what is happening right now? Like, why am I wasting my energy and my time doing this, you know? And like, people that are for you are going to seek to understand you. They're not going to force you into submitting to the understandings that they have based on where it is that they are in their life. And that was really a reminder for me, because I've had so many relationships in my life that were like that. But I feel like that was the test. Like that was the test. Like, are you gonna listen to this bitch or are you gonna keep listening to God? Like, and it's like, clearly, bitch, I don't even know you to keep listening to you. Like, obviously I'm gonna keep listening to God. Like, but like little things like that, you know, are really like big things. And in the moment it may seem like, what is this? Because I was wondering, I'm like, why did I meet this girl? Like, I don't think that we're friends. And like, this is somebody who, like, I just gotta spill the tea, y'all, because it's just crazy to me. Like, this experience with this person was like I don't think I've seen extreme narcissism in a woman, because I've never allowed myself to really get close to women like that. But I like experienced it with her in a short amount of time, and like, I don't know, it really just made my mind like that's what happens when you pretend as though you don't have trauma, and you pretend as though like, oh, if I just read the Bible and I just pray, then everything's gonna go away. Like, no, God requires you to do work. It requires you to do work. Like, you have to uncover, uproot all the trauma and all the shit that went on in your life in order for you to get to a point of healing. It's not like you just pray and then the shit goes away. Like, no. And I'm somebody who's not afraid of facing darkness and dealing with it. Like, I don't give a fuck how dark the shit get. Like, I'm always front and center, which is why I have the position in life that I have. So talking to someone who doesn't understand that or doesn't do that was very like, oh, this is another perspective. Because people will swear that they're in agreement and in allegiance with you, but it's really just because they look up to how it is that you've overcome and faced your problems, but they don't want to be like, oh, like, I need to do this, or you inspired me to do this, or anything like that. They just want to take the credit, run with it, and then pretend as though they're somebody that they're not. So girl, lessons on top of lessons. And I feel like that's pretty much why I haven't, because in the past, something like that would trigger me, or it would make me feel like I need to change who I am, or I need to change my narrative, or I need to dumb myself down to meet this person where they're at. And like, I was just like, no, I'm not doing that shit. So instead of being fake, let's just cut the friendship here, because clearly we're not friends. And let's just go our separate ways, because like, it's very simple. Very, very simple. I just thought it was funny because like, she would make fun of me for like calling her friend, or like I referred to her as best friend. Like, if you're from Chicago, you know, you be like, best friend, like, you know how we talk, like it's our lingo, right? And she like said some slick shit to me, and like I just kind of let it go, right? And then got the nerve to be calling me sis. Like, girl, that's a little step further than best friend, right? Bitch, you trying to say we blood? Like, what the fuck? Like, and then want to be looking at me side-eyeing me because I'm calling her best friend. Like, what? It just be the little shit that really, like, when you start to look at the little shit that people do, you really get a clear understanding of who it is that they are, their intentions, where it is that they're coming from, if they resonate with you or not. And when you get those little cues, those little downloads, you really just have to follow that, and not anything that creates confusion is the devil, period. So if it's somebody in your life and they got your ass confused and you don't know what the fuck going on, get rid of their ass. I feel like that's really the message. That's the underlying layer of the message. Like, it's cut that bitch off season for the rest of her life, because everybody gotta get cut off that does not serve your highest purpose. Like, a lot of people are for a season, a lot of people are not meant for a lifetime. And if you're a special person, you are more so likely to deal with people who are for a season and not a lifetime, which can sometimes feel lonely. But like, when you know God, like, girl, you can never really be alone, like, period. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys. Make sure you like the channel or like the video if you watched it all the way through, and so it can catch the algorithm. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you didn't. If you're new and you subscribe, thank you for subscribing. I'll see you guys later. Bye.